So while this ceremony is the legal blending of hearts that have already been beating in unison at the same time, a home is being formed and a relationship established that is not only approved by the state, but one that was ordained by God in the early morning of time. See, that's one of those girls she watches. You see why I call her family. Blessed by Jesus while he was upon the earth, and declared by the Apostle Paul to be that which is to be honored by all. Thomas and Darby, there are no ties sweeter on earth than those that you're about to form. There are no vows on earth more solemn than those you are about to make. A wedding is a happy occasion. It is flawless in its good humor and its sense of well-being. It is a wonderful expression of love. But the days of your marriage will not always be filled with happiness and the joy that you feel today. As you live it out, you will find that your relationship has moods and it has seasons. It has mountaintops and valleys, low times as well as high times. From time to time, the delightful spirit of this day will not be with you. For better or for worse is a real thing. It's not just a statement that is said at all the weddings. It is a real thing, because there are going to be bad times. It is a reality that all marriages must face from time to time. And when difficulties come, you will have to reach for something deeper in yourselves, for the love that is stronger than even that which you have this day. For while it is love that has brought you to this marriage altar, it is love in its infancy. For after you have lived together many years, walking side by side down a narrow path that leads through time, laughing together, sorrowing together, planning and dreaming together, then you will know the true depths of love. I want you to remember that your relationship is a progression. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. For you, Thomas and Darby, your wedding today is an exquisite, beautifully choreographed first step. There's great joy to be found in such a surprising journey with twists and turns, shades and possibilities beyond your wildest imaginations. And instead of resisting changes, allow them to blossom in you so that you and your relationship will grow and mature. If you will remember this commitment you are making this evening, instead of bowing down or bowing out when difficulty arises, you will be able to ride out any stormy times with confidence, knowing that those cloud-filled skies are but temporary and not a reflection on your relationship as a whole. Above all, in the days and years that lie ahead, remember that God and love is what matters. Love always prevails. It is the love that you have for one another that will be the answer to all your difficulties. If in marrying you have chosen well and promised wisely, love will be stronger than any conflict, bigger than any changes. It is love you're celebrating and radiating today that you must always return. The Apostle Paul, and before we go into our vows, I'll read this to you. Paul spoke of this love and its characteristics in 1 Corinthians 13 when he said, love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, bears all things, believes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Thomas and Darby, you're about to take your vows. The union of husband and wife in heart, body, and mind is intended by God for their mutual joy, for the help and comfort given one another in prosperity and adversity. Therefore, marriage is not to be entered into unadvisedly or lightly, but reverently, deliberately, and in accordance with the purposes for which it was instituted by God into this holy union. Thomas and Darby now come to be joined. Darby, Will you have this man to be your husband, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor him, keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? If so, signify by saying, I will. Thomas, will you have this woman to be your wife, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor her, keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live? If so, signify by saying, I will. Thomas, will you take Darby's right hand and repeat after me? I, Thomas, take you, Darby, to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. He said most likely poorer. In sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until we are parted by death. Darby, will you take Thomas's right hand and repeat after me? I, Darby, take you, Thomas, to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until we are parted by death. The wedding ring signifies to all the uniting of this man and woman in holy matrimony, and symbolizes the never-ending nature of their love. Are their rings to be exchanged? For poorer, he said. You ready? All right, Thomas, place the ring, not the one in your mouth, on Darby's finger, and then repeat after me. Darby. Darby.
Darby.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow. And with all that I am and all that I have, I honor you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Darby placed the ring on Thomas's finger and then repeat after me. Thomas, I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow. And with all that I am and all that I have, I honor you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Thomas, you may kiss your bride. I am honored and privileged to introduce for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Rose. Thank you guys for coming out. Thomas and Darby has asked that I request all of the friends and family come to the back for a time of celebration with them. Thank you.
'Cause it's like this whole world's here in this hand I'm holding. So come hell or high water, you know we're gonna walk right through. Ooh, so well I gotta learn the hard way. I don't want no plan B. Hold it if it keeps you by my side. No, I'll get it right. I'll get it right on the first try. I don't want no mistake. Get it right if it keeps you by my side. I'll get it right on the first try. I'll get it right if it keeps you by my side. I'll get it right on the first try. Oh, I don't need no mistake. I'll get it right if it keeps you by my side. I'll get it right on the first try.
Before we ever wrote a song, before you ever sang along, I knew you were the only one I need.
Before you ever came around or kissed me on my mama's couch, I knew your life was meant for me.
Before we swayed, before that dance, girl, I knew you would be my one and only word.
So you can give me this whole life with you standing by my side. 'Cause I know I got what I need and I won't let it go, no, no. Why everybody gotta learn the hard way? I don't want no plan. Get it right if it keeps you by my side. Oh, I'll get it right on the first try. I don't need no mistake. Get it right if it keeps you by my side. I'll get it right on the first try.
Darling, I know together we